My name is Ryan Parker, and I'm a Year 11 student at Westfield Academy in Manchester. What happened during our lockdown last month wasn't what anyone thought it was. It started during third period on a Tuesday. I was in maths class when the alarm went off. 3 long beeps, then the announcement. All staff and students, this is a lockdown. Secure your classrooms immediately. Mr. Thompson locked our door and turned off the lights. 26 of us crammed into the corner away from windows. We'd done drills before, but this felt different. Real. The announcement said police were dealing with an incident and we'd be kept informed. Standard procedure. Stay quiet, stay hidden, wait for the all clear. After 30 minutes, we heard footsteps in the corridor, heavy boots moving slowly. Mr. Thompson looked through the door's glass panel and went pale. "That's not police," he whispered. 3 men in dark clothing were checking classrooms systematically. They had keys, not breaking down doors, just unlocking them and looking inside. One of them stopped at our door. Tried the handle, found it locked from inside. Instead of forcing it, he used a key. The door opened silently. "Nobody move," he said quietly. "We're not here to hurt anyone." They weren't wearing masks or trying to hide their faces. Middle-aged men looked like office workers. One had a tablet, was checking names against a list. "We need Ryan Parker," he said. "Just Ryan. Everyone else stays put." My stomach dropped. How did they know my name? Why me? "There's no Ryan here," Mr. Thompson lied. The man with the tablet looked directly at me. "Ryan Parker, Year 11, lives on Brookside Drive. Your dad's name is Michael Parker. He knew everything." I stood up, legs shaking. "It's okay," the man said. "Your father sent us. There's been a family emergency." But something was wrong. Dad would have called the school directly, not sent strangers during a lockdown. They escorted me through empty corridors. The whole school was in lockdown, but these men moved freely. They had access to everything. We reached the main office. The secretary, Mrs. Williams, was sitting at her desk looking terrified. The headmaster, Mr. Davies, was there too. "Ryan, these men have proper identification," Mr. Davies said, but his voice sounded forced, like he was reading from a script. One of the men showed me an ID badge. "Social services," he said. "We need to take you somewhere safe." I'd never had any involvement with social services. My home life was normal. Mom, dad, younger sister, no problems. "Can I call my parents first?" I asked. "That's not possible right now," the man said. "Time is important." They led me outside to a black car. No police anywhere, despite the lockdown announcement. The car park was empty except for staff vehicles. That's when I realized this wasn't a real lockdown. It was fake, designed to clear the school so they could take me without witnesses. "Where are we going?" I asked as they put me in the back seat. "Somewhere your father can't find you," the man replied. My blood went cold. This wasn't about helping me, it was about hiding me. During the drive, I heard one of them on the phone. "We've got the boy. Yes, clean extraction. Nobody suspected anything. We'll hold him at the safe house until the trial's over." Trial? What trial? Then I remembered something from 2 weeks ago. Dad had been acting strange, taking phone calls in private, looking worried. He told Mom he was having work problems but wouldn't explain. The car stopped at a house in the suburbs. They took me inside, locked the door. It was set up like a prison. Bars on windows, reinforced doors, no way out. "Your father's been talking to people he shouldn't," one of them explained. "About things that aren't his business. This is to keep you safe while we sort it out." They weren't social services. They were holding me hostage to control my dad. I was kept there for 3 days. Meals delivered, but no contact with anyone outside. No phone, no internet, no way to tell anyone where I was. On Thursday, everything changed. Police sirens, shouting, the front door being smashed in. Real police this time. They found me locked in an upstairs room. Later, I found out the truth. Dad worked in accounting for a construction company. He'd discovered they were taking bribes, stealing money from council contracts. When he threatened to report it, they'd arranged my kidnapping to keep him quiet. The fake lockdown had been planned for weeks. Someone inside the school had helped them, given them keys, access codes, my schedule. They'd used the school's own security systems against us. 3 teachers were arrested for helping. Mrs. Williams, the secretary, had been paid to cooperate. Even Mr. Davies knew but was too scared to stop it. The construction company was laundering millions through fake contracts. Dad's evidence put 12 people in prison, including the men who took me. I changed schools after that. Couldn't trust anyone at Westfield anymore. Every lockdown drill reminds me how easy it was for them to turn our safety procedures into a trap. My name is Jake and I'm 16. What happened at my school 3 months ago still makes me wake up in cold sweats. I've never told anyone the full story, not even my parents. They think I'm just stressed about exams. It was a Monday morning, second period physics. Mrs. Henderson was explaining Newton's laws when the announcement came over the tannoy. This is not a drill, we are now in lockdown. All students and staff must remain in their classrooms immediately. The tone in Mr. Liam's voice was different. Usually these drills were boring, but something was wrong. Mrs. Henderson's face went white. She quickly locked the door and pulled down the blinds. "Everyone get away from the windows," she whispered. "Sit on the floor by the back wall." My mate Connor was next to me. He looked as scared as I felt. "What's going on?" he mouthed. Then we heard it. Footsteps in the corridor, not the normal sound of teachers walking around. These were heavy, deliberate steps. They stopped right outside our door. The handle turned. Mrs. Henderson had her hand over her mouth. 28 students held their breath. The handle turned again, harder this time. Then whoever it was started banging on the door. "Open up. I know you're in there." The voice was calm, almost friendly. That made it worse somehow. A normal person would shout or sound angry. This person sounded like they were asking us to come out for a chat. The banging stopped, the footsteps moved away, but then we heard screaming from down the hall. It was Ms. Parker, the art teacher. The screaming lasted about 10 seconds, then stopped completely. Sarah, who sits 2 rows behind me, started crying. Mrs. Henderson put her finger to her lips. We all knew we had to stay quiet. More footsteps. This time they were running. Then we heard Mr. Collins, the head teacher, shouting into his radio, "We need armed police now. He's got a knife. He's already..." Oh God. The radio went silent. Connor grabbed my arm. His nails dug into my skin. Through the gap in the blinds, I could see other classrooms. Some had their lights off. Others had desks pushed against the doors. Then the fire alarm went off. The loud, piercing sound filled the building. But we didn't move. We knew this wasn't a fire drill. The footsteps came back. This time they stopped at our door again. I could see a shadow underneath. 2 feet, just standing there, waiting. "I can hear you breathing," the voice said. "I can smell your fear." The door handle rattled again. Mrs. Henderson was shaking. Tommy Williams, the toughest kid in our year, was crying silently. We sat there for what felt like hours. The police sirens got louder. Then we heard shouting, lots of voices, running, a loud bang that might have been a gunshot. The footsteps came back one more time. This time they were faster, more urgent. We heard him trying different doors, rattling handles violently. The sound got closer and closer to our classroom. Come out," he called in that same calm voice. "I just want to talk." Then we heard something that made my blood freeze, the sound of keys jingling. He had keys to the classrooms. Mrs. Henderson must have realized it too, because she grabbed the heaviest desk and started pushing it towards the door. Me and Connor jumped up to help her. We could hear him unlocking the door 3 classrooms down, then screaming. More screaming. A girl's voice I recognized from year 7. The screaming stopped suddenly. The keys jingled again. He was getting closer. 2 doors away now. Mrs. Henderson was frantically trying to barricade our door with whatever she could find. The whole class was helping, moving chairs and desks as quietly as we could. Then silence. Complete silence. Even the police sirens seemed to fade away. We pressed our ears to the door, but couldn't hear anything. That's when I noticed something that made my stomach drop. There was blood seeping under the door from the hallway. Dark red blood, spreading slowly across the floor tiles. Finally, the all clear came. But when they unlocked our door, I saw Mrs. Henderson's hands were covered in blood. She had been gripping a pair of scissors so tightly they'd cut her palms. 3 teachers didn't make it home that day. The man who did it used to work at our school. He'd been sacked 6 months earlier for inappropriate behavior with students. Nobody talks about what really happened in those empty classrooms. I still can't walk past closed doors without my heart racing. If you enjoyed this story, let us know by hitting like and sharing it with a friend. And don't forget to subscribe for more stories.